Hi guys, and welcome back to another edition of what has joined my movie collection. Guys, so this video is a special edition because it's not going to feature everything that turned up through the month of December. This one is just solely going to concentrate on my Black Friday pickups. Seems like so long ago now, we're in a new decade. Yeah, so everything that I'm going to be showcasing today did arrive just as the purchases that I made for Black Friday. So yeah, since then we've had a Christmas and we've had a New Year as well. So I hope everyone out there watching had a fantastic holiday and a safe and happy New Year as I did. So yeah, what we will do, guys, is jump straight in to my first ever Vinegar Syndrome order. So guys, this considering I've been collecting for 26 years now probably, guys, I've never purchased a single Vinegar Syndrome title, but a lot of my friends who I've made here in Australia, they love their Vinegar Syndrome releases. They've mentioned to me in the past about the quality of the slipcovers that Vinegar Syndrome produce for their releases, and now seeing them in hand, I completely agree. I think they're the best out there of all of the different cult labels. Their slipcovers are the best for the time and dedication, I guess, the small little touches they put into them, which I'll go into now, really, with Spookies. This was my first release for Vinegar Syndrome that I watched when it arrived, and it is amazing. I love this movie. Cheap little 80s horror movie from the States. Spookies has everything you'd expect from a low budget, cheaply produced horror movie. It's got real bad acting. It's got cringy dialogue. It's got the characters putting themselves in situations that they shouldn't really be putting themselves in if they had any sense, but it adds to the fun of the movie. And yeah, just showing off these slipcovers, guys. This is the back here of one of the zombie creatures. Looks absolutely amazing with the embossed glossy eyes and teeth. And then the front cover. What Vinegar Syndrome did for Spookies, because it was such a special release, is they did release 2 limited slipcovers, which is cool. Cover A and Cover B, and collectors had the choice to getting both, which I did. And then the standard release is just slotted inside this one I've got at the moment. But the movie itself, what makes it so awesome is the amount of creature effects, practical creature effects that's in it is just mind-blowing. It really is. There's a wolf man, there's a little vampire boy, there's zombies, there's little gremlin creatures, there's an actual spider woman as well, and there's farting mud monsters, which is as crazy as it sounds. So the movie is, I think it's a whole bunch of fun. If you like bad movies, so bad they're good, Spookies is one of the best. So very happy to have that as my sort of first pickup from Vinegar Syndrome. So I was also lucky enough to get a lot of older releases that still had their limited edition slipcovers. They do tend to make, I believe, maybe 1,000 of each, or even less. Some runs, I think, are even less. So there is a counter on the website when you go to order each edition. It does actually tell you how many they've got left in stock. And a few editions that I did pick up did miss out on these slipcovers, which is a bit of a shame because they are amazing. Looking at the quality, like even the title for James Hong, a legend, the actual title is just slightly embossed, and it's glossy as well when the light catches it. It's just such a nice touch, and the electricity as well at the top. Even the title on the spine as well, and the actual Vinegar Syndrome logo where the title features the limited edition number. That's number 292 edition. So that's the 292nd release that Vinegar Syndrome have done. He's embossed as well, so yeah, it's very cool. I haven't actually watched the Vineyard yet, but I do love James Hong. I think this guy's a legend. Looks a bit like Anthony Perkins there on the actual proper cover. So that is awesome. So I'm looking forward to watching the Vineyard. I've heard good things. Luther the Geek as well, another limited edition slipcover. You can see all glossy there in silver, which is very, very cool. Just slide it out of the slipcover. Luther the Geek. And the Candy Snatchers, a 70s rape, revenge, kidnapping tale. Not my most favourite subgenre, to be honest. Some can be quite hard to watch, but yeah, I've read a little bit about this movie. I've never seen it before, but again, it was a nice to see Vinegar Syndrome give it a Blu-ray release at least. So it's nice to have it in the collection, and I will sit down and watch this when I get the time, and I am in the mood for it. We've got Demonoid as well. Again, another pickup. Don't really know much about this, but again, it did still have the limited edition slipcover. And when I went through the website, you actually get to go through some screenshots from the movies themselves to see some of the practical effects or some scenes from the movie, and it did look quite interesting. So I'm glad I picked that one up because I know nothing about it. Raw Force. Now this one was very interesting to me because the trailer for this featured on one of the Umbrella releases for the Drive-In Delirium, where they showcased trailers from low budget not critically acclaimed, I guess, fan acclaimed movies. And this, with ninjas fighting zombies, this looked absolutely amazing. So when I found this on the Vinegar Syndrome website through the sale, still with its limited edition sleeve as well, yeah, I was so happy. I threw this one in the basket straight away, which is cool. And the best thing with Vinegar Syndrome's Black Friday order was you could keep adding to it as the sale went on for a week or two, or maybe just under 2 weeks. They didn't ship them until the very end. So, and you only paid for one lot of shipping for all of these, which is brilliant. So I did keep going back and adding a few more to the cart every so often. But yeah, picked up Savage Harbor as well, which has also the title Death Feud. So with this release, you could only purchase this one through the Vinegar Syndrome store itself. Some of these titles, not with the cardboard sleeves, but just the standard plastic boxes, you can also pick up from other retailers like Amazon. But with these releases, I think they're calling these VSA titles. VSA number 1, this one. They released Evil Town as well. I think that was the second one, and I didn't pick that up in the sale. It had sold out, unfortunately. But yeah, VSA, Vinegar Syndrome Archive. So these editions, the boxes are slightly different. They actually pull out from the bottom, and the box itself is a real hard cardboard, a lot more solid than just the slip covers, which is a nice touch. So this one is for Savage Harbor, which I haven't seen. Hellmaster also picked up. This one has the awesome John Saxon in it, so that's pretty much what sold me on this one. And it's also got cool artwork as well. So Hellmaster looks like a type of movie that I would absolutely love. So I was happy to pick this one up as well. There he is, old John Saxon. Yeah, so that one is another cool addition that I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth into. Now I also picked up one of their, not one of their horrors, but one of their sort of, I guess, comedy, softcore, titillating movies. Thing about Vinegar Syndrome is they do have a mixture of titles they release, including a lot of sort of 70s and 80s sort of softcore erotica. Not really something I'm usually interested in, but Linnea Quigley's been in so much I've been watching recently thanks to a lot of sort of full moon features. So yeah, I was very happy to pick this one up. And again, this is one of the VSA titles, the Archive number 3. So now that I've got number 1 and number 3, I may have to try and track down Evil Town from somewhere, because again, that sounded like a movie that I would have loved to have watched. So that was cool. I also got Mausoleum. I did watch this one again a few days after it arrived. Horny housewife is possessed by a like a crypt demon. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Again, low budget, quite cheap and cheesy, but I actually had quite fun watching this. I think the main actress in it, the lady who is possessed, I think she gave it her all. And yeah, I did quite enjoy that movie. So that was Mausoleum. Again, no limited slipcover with that one, unfortunately, but again, I was too late to the game with these VS titles, so not a problem. Evils of the Night, again, sold on the cover for that one. Alien vampires in search of teenage blood. The fact that it's got the Millennium Falcon on it, I don't think it's got anything to do with Star Wars at all, but I thought that was amazing. So I picked up Evils of the Night. Also, I picked up Blood Theatre. Now, I believe this one also has a second movie in it as well. I might be wrong, but I think this one actually has 2 movies inside it. Blood Theatre. No, I might be wrong. I did think it had a second. Oh, it does. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. No, I thought this one actually had 2 movies in it, but I might be wrong. Blood Theatre and Grave Robbers. Picked up Grave Robbers, which also looks pretty amazing. And also Night Train to Terror. Night Train to Terror. So a lot of these titles were really early releases. Like this one was only the 17th edition that VS released, so I was very lucky to actually still see this one available on the website. Now, last night I actually sat down and watched The Uninvited, which I quite enjoyed as well. Again, it could have benefited more from having a few scenes with a bit more suspense in it. These teenagers and a rich dude and his goons are trapped on a luxury yacht with a cat that has a demonic mangy cat inside it that comes out of its mouth to do its killings. Now, for someone who has 5 cats, I don't think I'll ever look at them the same way again, especially when they start yawning at me. But this movie, it was quite fun, and it had the awesome George Kennedy in it, who was also in another Vinegar Syndrome title that I watched yesterday afternoon, which was Savage Dawn. Now, this one is an absolute classic. A motorbike sort of gang are terrorizing a small town, I think in Arizona. I think it was Arizona, some sort of desert town in America. And the legend Lance Heinrichsen, a striker, he's a war veteran. He's going to visit his friend George Kennedy, legend. And he doesn't like what these bikers are sort of doing to the town, so he exacts sort of revenge on them. And towards the end, I think it's William Forsythe, the villain inside it. I think that's his name, William Forsythe. He rocks into town on a tank with Karen Black, is his mistress, his girlfriend, who he has taken is his concubine. So that Savage Dawn was great fun. I absolutely love that movie, so that was awesome to see it get a Blu-ray release. Now, also as part of the Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday sale, I was able to pick up a couple of newer box sets that they had released. It's unusual for Vinegar Syndrome to actually do box sets like this, I believe. I know I'm still very new to their editions, but Amityville might have even been the first one, I'm not too sure. But this is the lesser known sort of Amityville sequels, spin-offs. So inside it we have got the Dollhouse, we've got A New Generation, we have got It's About Time, and The Evil Escapes. So yeah, that's part of the Cursed collection. I think I was doing some reading and there was actually a fifth movie that was involved in the Cursed collection, but maybe due to rights issues they weren't allowed to feature it in the box set. But as a completionist, I do have a lot of Amityville movies, different movies, the remake, and also some other spin-offs, so it's nice to have this in the collection as well, so that's very cool. And also the Angel collection, 3 movies in this one. An honor student by day and a Hollywood hooker by night. So she works on the Sunset Strip as a prostitute, I believe maybe to pay her tuition fees. And I haven't seen it yet, but the reading that I did, I think she has to battle. There's a necrophiliac serial killer on the loose, killing prostitutes, and I think she has to try and take him down, maybe. But haven't seen this one yet, but I am quite looking forward to it. Angel, Avenging Angel, and Angel 3, the final chapter. So I'm not expecting Oscar-winning performances or cinematography or direction, but I'm sure I might have good fun with this. And the box is very cool, slipping out from the center. So yeah, that was another release from VS. Now, other than Spookies, I'm gonna have to say this is probably my favorite release of this entire haul from VS, and that is Tammy and the T-Rex. Now, this came with a lenticular slipcover from Vinegar Syndrome, and what was more surprising was they announced before it sort of got a release, they were going to do a 4K release for this movie in ultra high definition. So it is absolutely bonkers, but it's so much fun. Early Denise Richards, maybe her first role, I'm not too sure. Definitely before sort of Starship Troopers and Wild Things. And we've got a very young Paul Walker as well in here, the late Paul Walker. Basically boyfriend and girlfriend, and there is an animatronic T-Rex that's been controlled by a computer, and the inventor, the creator, and the basically the owner, he's not too happy with how it responds, so he wants to put a human brain inside it. So after Paul Walker suffers I guess it's not an accident. He is, I guess he's attacked by some bullies. Basically, the mad scientist and his his female helper, Helga, steal his body, take his brain, and put it inside this T-Rex. And basically, Paul Walker goes on a rampage to get his revenge. It is absolutely insane how something like this could get made. But I believe years ago there was actually a cut of this movie that was more family friendly. They'd removed all the gore and all the swearing, tried, I guess, to capitalize as much as they could on the profits. But this is the first time, I believe, ever the gory cut has been released, and it was only a few months before Vinegar Syndrome announced this that Bloody Disgusting actually put the trailer on their website, and that was the first time I'd found out there was actually an adult gory cut of it. And the gore is actually pretty cool. You do see heads getting bitten off, you do see people getting their intestines ripped out. So if you like cringy, cheap but fun movies, really, Tammy and the T-Rex is just amazing. I mean, look at it. It looks like Saved by the Bell, but with horror. It's awesome. It really is. So I'm very, very happy that one has joined the collection. Also picked up Sectra Sinestra, which again I haven't seen. I believe maybe a Spanish horror movie with its limited edition cardboard sleeve. Very cool. So I picked up that one as well. Death by Temptation is also another one with its cardboard sleeve, and this one I believe has a small role with Samuel L. Jackson in it, maybe one of his earlier roles. So that's very cool. Death by Temptation. In the Cold of the Night. Again, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen Death by Temptation either, but yeah, this one again, it looked like it could be very cool, and yeah, so that was awesome. And then last two, again, limited cardboard sleeves. We've got Play Dead. Again, the blood is all sort of glossy in the dog's teeth, so that's pretty cool. I've past maybe 4 months or so, I've watched a couple of horror movies with killer dogs, so yeah, seems to be a bit of a theme going on for 2019 for me. So that one arrived, and last but not least, Beyond the Door 3. Now, very happy I was able to pick this one up. I know Arrow have just announced Beyond the Door as one of their limited editions. I think this one did also have a different name as well, maybe like Train of Terror or something like that. Oh, a Mock Train, that was it. A Mock Train. So yeah, I haven't seen this one, but I did watch the trailer when VS announced it, and I did like the look of it. I thought it looked like a pretty cool movie, so I was very happy to pick that one up as well. So guys, all of those were my Vinegar Syndrome orders. First ever Vinegar Syndrome, and I'm going to be a little bit picky in the future with what I grab from them, because like I say, they do sort of have a wide range of mostly cheap, low budget horror movies that other sort of labels and studios haven't really picked up on, but they do release a lot of sort of 70s sort of softcore porn as well, which I'm not too interested in. During the Black Friday sale, they did offer yearly subscriptions to people to subscribe, which I thought was very cool. So you could pay for one fee, and you would get every single one of their titles released throughout 2020, every single one. So every month you weren't sure what you were getting until they announce them, and they don't announce them until a month or two before. So it's quite exciting to think you've paid for the subscription and you don't know what you're getting. But for me, some of their titles I'm just not interested in at all. So it didn't seem sort of plausible, or I wasn't really that interested in getting it, because I can pick and choose what I want to get. But it did work out to be a good deal if you are going for a complete collection. But with VS titles, I'm not really interested in going for a full set, so I will just pick and choose what I think I will enjoy. So yeah, that is very awesome. Now, next up in the Black Friday orders was one from 88 Films in the UK. So I was able to continue the classic slasher collection, and it was a perfect time, fitting time. This arrived, I think, second week in December. So Christmas Eve, I watched this when it arrived first time. I don't think it is as memorable or as classic as something like Black Christmas, or even Silent Night, Deadly Night, but I did quite enjoy it. It was a different take on the whole sort of evil Santa Claus, basically going around killing people. I think he was generally trying to do nice things, but it was all going wrong for him. So yeah, I didn't actually mind the movie at all, and it's nice that it's got its cardboard sleeve. And then inside, we've got the original artwork as well. Now, one thing that has happened with these slasher Classics collection is they're releasing them now in these white cases. Now, they were originally releasing the full set. I think this is number 42. The ones before this were all in red cases, which matched when you had them all in a row. But unfortunately now, due to the decline of physical media, 88 did release a statement saying that they can no longer get their hands on red cases. They're just not manufacturing them anymore. So they've had to opt to go for these white ones instead. For the people that do purchase them earlier on when they get released, they will still get them in red sleeves, which do still have red along the top. So it will match in the collection as you've got them all in a row. But if you are unlucky enough to sort of pick them up later on, then when you've got them all lined up from 1 to 42, you'll find the later ones now won't match. They'll all have white cases instead of red. So if you do suffer OCD, then that is going to bug you, I believe, a little bit. You might have to get your painting out. But yeah, picked up Christmas Evil, so that arrived just at the right time. A couple of Asian releases, which I haven't seen, but Hansel and Gretel picked up, and also Sea Fog as well. These look very interesting, and they were so cheap as part of the sale. I think they worked out to be about maybe £6 each. So I'm a big fan of sort of Korean and Asian cinema, so those look very interesting. Now, I've started also picking up individually and gradually, just slowly, part of their 88 Films Italian collection as well. I do like my Italian cinema. So one from Joe D'Amato there, Absurd, which is very awesome. I don't own a copy of that movie, so I was able to pick that up very cheap. And I also grabbed Rats, Night of Terror, which any sort of creature feature I'm always a big fan of. So yeah, very happy to pick up Rats. Never seen it, but I'm sure I will enjoy it. And Zombie Flesh Eaters 2, also known as Zombie 3, a Lucio Fulci classic. And Zombie Flesh Eaters 3, which is directed by Claudio Fragasso, the legend who did Troll 2, the best worst movie ever made. So yeah, typical fashion from sort of Italian cinema during this time. They could call them whatever they wanted, to be honest. If they wanted it to be a sequel to Indiana Jones, I guess they could have called it that. But yeah, Zombie 3, or Zombie Flesh Eaters 2, and Zombie Flesh Eaters 3, so very happy those joined. I don't have a full Italian collection. They are individually numbered again down the spines. Eventually I will. I don't think any of them have sold out now. If they have, then I'm sure there's always eBay, and I don't think they'll be too expensive. So yeah, those arrived. Now, I placed an order from Nameless Media in Germany, because these were going very cheap. And the first one I picked up was The Punisher, Thomas Jane and John Travolta's The Punisher. A big fan of this movie. I love the character. I think he's not, I don't want to say he's like Batman, he's not Marvel's Batman, but he's a character that has no special abilities. He's got no sort of superhero powers. He is just fueled by revenge and by hate. So yeah, I've always enjoyed this movie. I know it's not the best comic book movie out there, but the character I've always loved. And even Ray Stevenson's Punisher Warzone I really enjoyed as well. So this limited edition media book was part of what they class as the vintage VHS edition of only 55, and it was still available, and that's because it came with a newly pressed VHS edition of The Punisher. Again, I am going to leave it sealed. I will never watch it on VHS, but it's a cool item to have in a collection like mine, that does span all the way from my early VHS. It's a nice feature to have, and The Punisher I don't think ever got released on video. I think the first probably release of it came out on DVD. So I love this. I love the artwork. I just think it's a nice little collector's item to have. And that came as part of a set. So we got the media book on Blu-ray, and we got the VHS. And the Blu-ray on this is also the extended cut as well, which is very cool. So very happy to grab those from Nameless. And in the same order, I also added, just to save on shipping, this one called Brain Slasher. Never seen it, but guys, it's an early sort of Bruce Campbell movie. The old legend himself, the old Chin. And I've never seen it, but in order to sort of just save on shipping, I thought I'd add this to the order as well. So this one I am looking forward to giving a go. I haven't actually watched it yet, but it looks very, very intriguing. So that one looks cool. So that's awesome. And because I placed an order for those, I also got this one for free. didn't know what I was getting. This came as part of the sort of the collection that I ordered from them. If you reached a certain amount, you got a free item. So this one was thrown in. Oh, Terry Hatcher. Again, I don't know much about this at all. I did look it up when it arrived to see what it was about. I think maybe it's a bit of a sort of a gritty romance. I'm not too sure. I don't think it's horror. But I did think it was quite strange that one that I ordered was Brain Slasher and one that was sent was Brain Smasher. And they've got nothing to do with each other either. I just thought that was quite an interesting coincidence. But yeah, Brain Smasher. Got that for free, so can't complain. So that is very, very awesome from Nameless. Now, what else arrived was one from Criterion, and that was Jackie Chan's Police Story and Police Story 2 Special Edition. Guys, if you've watched my other videos, you'll have seen that I picked up from 88 one of Jackie's earlier ones, Crime Story, and I didn't want to watch that until I'd picked up all of the others in the series, so Police Story and Police Story 2, and then there's New Police Story, so there's quite a few still I have to get. I don't want to start them or watch them until I've got the full set, so this has got me one step closer to getting that watched. And again, I've never owned copies of Police Story 1 and 2, so this Criterion edition was 50% off during the sale, so I was very happy to pick that one up as well from Amazon.com. And also Mirror Mirror 2. Now this I did order just before Black Friday, but it didn't quite arrive in time as well. So I did order Mirror Mirror, the first one with Karen Black, and the sequel at the same time. This one's actually got a lot of famous names in it. Mark Ruffalo, old Hulky, Veronica Cartwright from Alien, and old Roddy McDowall. So I haven't seen it, but yeah, very happy to add that, and then I can watch a Mirror Mirror 1 and 2. I think there's more in this set. There might be like 5 or 6 maybe in total, but I only own 1 and 2. And next up was from Eureka in the UK. I got a nice selection from Eureka. I always like ordering from them because it's free shipping. Doesn't matter how little or how much you order or where they're getting sent to. They offer free shipping. I just wish all of the labels, especially in the UK, would do that, and it'd save a lot on shipping. But yeah, Paul Verhoeven. Not the only Paul Verhoeven movie I received this month, but it is the only one I haven't seen, so I'm really looking forward to watching this one. And it's got the old late Rutger Hauer in it as well. So Flesh and Blood, I am looking forward to watching this one. A medieval action movie, I believe. So yeah, that one arrived, and it's got its cardboard sleeve. Always a bonus. Speaking of... old legend there, Jackie Chan, another Jackie Chan movie, City Hunter. Never seen it, but yeah, very, very happy to pick that up cheap as well through the sale. Also grabbed Reborn. I have seen Versus. Versus is quite an interesting movie. So this one looks quite interesting as well. Again, any sort of Asian cinema, action, gory. I'm fully up for. Salvador, an Oliver Stone movie. We watched this years ago at college. We actually studied a portion of sort of political movie making, and Salvador was one of the ones we watched. So never owned a copy of it, and honestly, I don't remember too much about it. But yeah, when I saw that Eureka had it in their Masters of Cinema series, number 195. Again, I'm not going for a full set, but there was a few classics in there when I was going through the website that I did like the look of. But I thought this would bring back some memories of that time at college. So yeah, picked up Salvador. At the same time as well, Flight of the Phoenix, another sort of classic original. I've seen the remake, but I haven't seen the original. And yeah, James Stewart and Richard Attenborough, absolute legends. So yeah, very happy to grab the original Flight of the Phoenix. Maybe one night have a double bill of the original and the new one. Picked up New World as well. Again, haven't seen this one, but basically the writer of I Saw the Devil, I absolutely adore I Saw the Devil. I think it's one of the best movies to come out of sort of foreign cinema in a long, long time. So yeah, that one I think could be quite interesting. I know very little about it. I won't research that one. I'll just jump straight into it. The Tiger, I did watch when this one arrived, and I absolutely adored it. I thought it was beautiful. The cinematography was amazing, and it was quite emotional in places. The tiger in question, there's a couple of scenes up in the mountains when he's attacking or defending himself against a whole sort of platoon of army men. He's like a shark in water. He's so fast and he's so vicious, and some of the attacks are brutal, and it is very emotional as well with this hunter who's now living up in the mountains with his son. His son goes off to fight, and I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I did absolutely adore this movie, The Tiger. So that was a great purchase. Yeah, so that was good. Also picked up Werewolf. I haven't seen this one yet, still in its wrapping, but I've heard good things. I've got another friend here in Australia who was saying that he's looking forward to watching it. So it did sound very interesting when I did a bit of reading up on it. So very happy that that one was also in the sale. And last but not least, documentary or live performance, one of Scorsese's sort of arty pictures, The Last Waltz as well, another Masters of Cinema series. Very cool box, very cool hardback, similar to what Arrow do with their limited edition releases. So again, haven't seen this, but I have seen Scorsese's Shine a Light, the Rolling Stones sort of documentary / live performance. So yeah, I was happy to sort of add this one to the collection as well. So very, very cool from Eureka. Now guys, what are we? Exactly half an hour in. Okay, so we have one more order I placed during the Black Friday sales, and that was for Arrow releases. I wasn't going to go a sale without picking up some Arrow. I did say during my tour video earlier on in 2019 that I'm going for a full set of Arrow. So regardless of what the movie is like or if I will enjoy it, I do want a full collection. So I'm not picky, I'm not choosy when it comes to Arrows. If they are cheap and I do not have it, I will have it. So basically, I picked up that huge stack there and that huge stack there. Guys, so basically, I can thank Zavvi for this. As soon as the Black Friday sale went live on the Zavvi website, pretty sure somebody messed up big time because they had reduced them half price and also put them at buy one get one free. So I'm pretty sure it was only supposed to be one or the other. There was a thread on Reddit afterwards. Once Zavvi had realized, they basically stopped it, they disabled it, and then changed it to just simply buy one get one free but at full price. And there was a thread on Reddit from so many people who basically had had their orders cancelled and they weren't happy about it. Some people had stated that theirs had shipped and they weren't sure what was going to happen. Now, I placed this order almost the moment it went live. I was waiting for it. So it was honoured. Every single one has arrived all the way to Australia, and it worked out at being about $6.50 Australian money, $6.50 per title. Now, you can't even pick up cheap DVDs for that price here in Australia, mostly brand new. So to get Arrow releases for that price, to bulk up the collection, I couldn't turn it down. I was throwing anyone I didn't have in the collection in the basket. It was just too good of a deal to pass up. It's deal of the century for Arrow titles. So guys, I will go through what I picked up. I haven't watched too many of them. They didn't start arriving sort of until the second to third week in December, so I was a little bit cautious whether or not they were going to turn up after a lot of people on Reddit were saying that theirs had been cancelled. But luckily they all did turn up. So guys, I will go through and first of all say that I got the complete Satana box set collection, which is very awesome. Very awesome. Thanks to Deadwood, I'm starting to get a little bit more into Western movies. I have said this many times that it's not my favourite genre, but yeah, I'm slowly starting to appreciate more and more the more I watch. I did watch High Noon not too long ago, and I loved it. So yeah, complete Satana box set. And I also grabbed, as you just saw before, Zero Boys and Willy Dynamite. Got some Blaxploitation, and this edition, Coffee, or Pamela Grier. There is actually another Pamela Grier movie as well. Where are we? Foxy Brown. Yeah, so I got quite a few that I didn't already have. So Coffee. The Chill Factor I haven't seen, but I do like the look of. I think this could be a movie that I would really enjoy. So picked up The Chill Factor. Pit Stop. The Wild Geese. Classic actors in that one: Roger Moore, Richard Burton, Richard Harris. So Wild Geese. Don't have too many wartime story movies either, so that's nice that that's got an Arrow release and part of the collection that I can eventually own it. The Possessed as well looks like a very sort of foreign art house movie. I'm not too sure if it's in Italian. It might be an Italian giallo. Not too sure at all. Before We Vanish, again another sort of Asian movie I'm looking forward to watching. I think this one's only on for about an hour and 10 minutes when I was looking. No, completely wrong. 2 hours, 10 minutes. Completely wrong. I am looking forward to that one, though. Mona Lisa. Big fan of Bob Hoskins. Got Robbie Coltrane, Michael Caine, some classic English actors in that one. So Neil Jordan movie. And we got The Climber. Another classic, Day of the Jackal. I have seen this one. Day of the Jackal. We got Terry Gilliam, Thailand. Not my favourite director, I'll be perfectly honest. I did enjoy Brazil, but I'm not a huge Monty Python fan. And yeah, Gilliam. I'm not a huge fan of his movies, but yeah, I'm happy to give that one a go. The Pajama Case Girl. A Takashi Miike movie, which looks absolutely insane. The Happiness of the Katakuris. I have no idea about this at all. I think maybe it might be based on sort of a reality TV show, maybe, possibly. I think it's touted as being like The Sound of Music, but with a very horror slant. I have no idea. The Grand Jewel, Lee Van Cleef. Another Western. The Baby. Double Face, Klaus Kinski. The Navigator, Medieval Odyssey. And another one that I have seen previously, The Villainess. This one is a beautiful movie. The choreography and especially some of the first-person sort of fight scenes in it, absolutely amazing. So Villainess is a very good title. If you haven't seen it, it is awesome. Now, on to the second pile. The Suspicious Death of a Miner. Barren Blood. Death Smiles on a Murderer. Another Joe D'Amato movie. Another Klaus Kinski. Yeah, very cool. Right, Schramm. Again, another Jörg Butgereit. I hope I'm saying that right. Arrow seem to love his movies. They always get these limited edition sort of treatment for his movies. Necromaniac 2. I believe it's Der Todesking. I might be saying that wrong. I'm sure I am. But yeah, every single one of his movies seems to get the awesome Arrow treatment, but I'm not a big fan. I'm not a huge fan. And this one might be the one that's only on for an hour. Yeah, 65 minutes. It's only on for an hour and 5 minutes. So I'm sure it's not too hard to get through. But I don't find his movies too entertaining. So when I do finally get round to watching it, even though it is only on for an hour, I think it's going to be a bit of a tough watch. But it's got the nice treatment from Arrow. And same with these next two releases. They actually came with cardboard sleeves, which is very, very awesome. The Prey. Now, The Prey has different artwork. Like, I guess that's the original artwork, or maybe this is the original VHS artwork, I believe. But I love the fact when companies do cardboard sleeves, it's different artwork to than what's inside. It's always nice to have two different pieces of artwork. I mean, it might be that the original artwork. Yeah, so we've actually got 3 different types of artwork as well, so that's awesome. And you can't go wrong with a tagline that it's not human and it's got an axe. I mean, that just says it all. So it's also got the original booklet in there as well, which is very awesome. Haven't watched it yet, but this is going to be right up my street. So one night when I get the time, if I can slot that back in, then I'm really going to enjoy my time with this one. I have recently just been watching the Indicator release for Norman J. Warren's movies. I've just sat through 4 of those. So my Arrow editions are unfortunately getting put behind, unfortunately, but yeah, I will get back to them. The Cruising, William Friedkin, or The Exorcist director, with Al Pacino. This is a classic movie. I've seen this one before. I'm very happy that this one also arrived with its cardboard sleeve. So yeah, that is very awesome. The Day of Anger, another Lee Van Cleef, another Western. Massacre Gun. Again, know nothing about this at all. Looks like an Asian movie. The Andromeda Strain. Yes, again, I have seen this one. The original Andromeda Strain, I have seen this one. So that's very cool to have in the collection as well. Wake Up and Kill. Again, an Italian maybe. Know nothing about that one. Eric the Conqueror. Mario Bava. That's not a horror. So yeah, very happy to have another one of his movies in the collection. Bloody Spear at Mount Fuji. So this one is actually an Arrow Academy release. It's not actually one of the Arrow video releases. So Arrow, as a company, they do have different sort of, I guess, sub-releases. So Arrow Video is usually more horror-based, but not so. It's more cult-based, I guess. Arrow Academy seems to be a little bit more Criterion sort of quality, I guess. It's movies, especially highly regarded sort of artistic movies from around the world. So that one looked very interesting to me. I don't buy too many Arrow Academies, but yeah, I did grab that one for the collection. And also grabbed these three, Tinto Brass. They're not really going to be something that I would sit down and watch in my free time, but they're part of the Arrow collection and they were very cheap, so I grabbed those as well. So got All Ladies Do It, Frivolous, Lola and Cheeky. Also In the Aftermath, which looks very cool. Detective Bureau 2 and 3, Go to Hell Bastards. Got that one. Future Shock, this one looks awesome, this documentary, the story of the 2000 AD comics, so I think I'm going to enjoy that one. I'm a big huge fan of Judge Dredd. Don't really know too much what else their 2000 AD have done, but that one will, I'm sure, open my eyes to some of the stuff I didn't know they had done. The Comedy of Terrors, Vincent Price, what a legend. The Case of the Scorpion's Tail. And then again, another blaxploitation, Foxy Brown, one of the classic ones with Pamela Greer. She's the meanest chick in town. Very cool. Milano Calibro 9. I have no idea about this one at all. Haven't read anything, haven't seen a trailer, so that'll be interesting. Classic I have seen a couple of times, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. Absolutely awesome. Peter Weller and John Lithgow. So that is a cult classic, Buckaroo Banzai. So very happy to add that one. FM, Story of the Radio Station, I believe. Yeah, so FM, very happy to have that one. And guys, for this video, last but not least, in the Arrow collection. Now, this wasn't part of the Black Friday sale, but it did arrive at the same time, so I thought I'd put it in this video. And that is the limited edition of Robocop. Absolutely amazing movie. If it wasn't for Total Recall, I'd say Robocop is my favorite Verhoeven movie, and then Starship Troopers. But yeah, Robocop comes in at a close second after Total Recall. I think it's just an absolute classic movie, full of classic scenes, classic dialogue. Like Terminator, it's a boo movie at heart, really. Cyborg man cop, but just the direction, the action, the acting, it's all elevated to prime status. It really is. I mean, you've got the Ed 209, you've got Clarence, the villain, he's such a horrible man. You've even got the sleazy guy, I'd buy that for $1. I mean, everything in it is such a classic, and I'm so happy that Arrow gave it this sort of limited edition treatment. So inside the hard, rigid box, like you do with so many of Arrow's releases, is the standard box with the original poster, which I won't fold out now, guys, but it's very nice to have the poster, just basically the artwork of what's on this box. And here the behind the scenes sort of documentation booklet, interviews, a whole bunch of things, which is very cool. I haven't read through it, but I did watch the movie again when it arrived. Arrow also released this in a steelbook as well, which did have this artwork on the front, but I only picked up the limited edition. I will eventually, if it doesn't sell out, if I do see the steelbook cheaper, I will pick that up as well. But for now, I just was happy to pick up the limited edition over the steelbook. I do prefer their limited releases. You do get more for your money, which is awesome. And then inside, we have got, again, Property Protected by Robocop, some art cards. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It's such an awesome release. And it's the director's cut. I always remember having Robocop copied off TV, taped off TV, and it was edited for TV. So there was a lot of scenes missing. A scene where Robocop shoots the guy in the dick. And that scene where one of the villains at the end drives straight into the vat of toxic waste and he's melting. I didn't even see those scenes until I was later on sort of in my life. I didn't even know they existed. I was just watching it on that tape copied off TV. But I love the movie. I really do. So yeah, very, very happy that Arrow was able to give it such awesome treatment, and the picture quality looked amazing. So guys, that is my Black Friday haul. That's everything that arrived that I purchased through Black Friday. Now guys, if you do stick around for another video, I'm about to film what arrived through December, just standard releases, box sets, limited editions, what I was lucky enough to receive for Christmas from my loving friends and family, and also Boxing Day sales. So that video is also going to be an absolute monster. There was no way I could fit both of these Black Friday haul and that in the same video. So guys, I thank you again for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you do like your limited editions and premium box sets, stick around because that video is going to feature all of them. Okay, thanks guys. See you. Bye.